New England Fishing is brought to you by those who live like a pro.
I know a special place, a certain corner of the country where the fishing is pretty good. A place with deep lakes and surf-pounded beaches, marsh-lined estuaries and lazy forest streams, roaring ocean rips and small secluded ponds. A place called New England. I'm Tom Richardson. Join me as we explore the region's diverse fishing destinations, chase its many species, and forge new fishing adventures on New England Fishing. Block Island has always been a fishy place, surrounded as it is by boulders, reefs, sand shoals, mussel beds, and other features that support a variety of inshore species, from striped bass to flounder. It's not as if anglers need more incentive to fish the block, but the 2016 installation of 5 wind turbines some 3 miles off the island's southeast shore has raised the stakes considerably, as I discovered on a fall visit that began at the Galilee boat launch, where friend Tyler Adams and I splashed our Pursuit 280S on a warm September day. After clearing the west entrance of the Point Judith Breachway and picking our way past the Albee fishermen, Tyler and I set a course due south toward Old Harbor on Block Island's eastern shore, pausing only to watch 2 herds of white-sided dolphins cavorting in the calm waters of the Sound. Just outside Old Harbor, we met up with longtime charter captain and Block Island Fishworks owner Chris Willey, who had graciously agreed to show us how the wind turbines were already attracting fish, a little over a year after being installed. What's up, man?
How are you? Good to see you.
I'm good. Hey, this is Tyler Adams.
Hey, Tyler, how's it going?
He's going to be he's my buddy. We're going to be he's going to be one of the anglers today.
Excellent.
Yeah. So too bad about the crummy weather you ordered.
I know, right? Nice and flat. Sorry.
Also, nice of you to meet us out here on your boat too. That was saves us some time, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Excellent. Well, let's get your gear and
right.
We'll head on out to the wind farm.
Sounds good.
I moved to Block Island about 25 years ago. Started off working here in the summers. I was still in school at URI, and once I graduated, I ended up working here year-round and stayed. The fishing scene on Block Island is unique in that you have a little bit of everything in one small package. So you'll encounter, never mind the species, you get all your New England species around Block Island, but you also get all your situations. You have structure, you have sandy bottom, you have rips, you have a channel over in New Harbor, that narrow channel that you can fish that funnels a lot of bait and a lot of different species through. There's always going to be a lee side to the island, easily accessible because we're only 10 square miles. So you can fish pretty much every day. If you wanted to. You might not get to fish where you want, but at least you can go fish. It's just the accessibility. When you live here or visit here, the fishing is very accessible. There are no private beaches. So in theory, you can fish around off at any beach around the entire island. If you can get to it, you can fish it.
So you want some current movement, right? Don't you, Chris?
Ideally, you want current movement, but you have to be careful the important thing to consider is where you set up around these bases. You obviously don't want to set up current, because that's just going to push you into the actual turbine.
That would not be good.
But either side, works out. There's a little fish right there. So.
Oh yeah.
What I usually do is pull up next to it
And just see where.
just see which way. Pull up off it, see which way you're going to push. Wait 5 minutes, and then reset.
Okay. We might have hit it
This
at
is-
slack tide, huh?
This is a good distance. You don't really need to be right up next to them. In fact, a lot of the time, your drift will carry you halfway to the next one.
Oh.
I mean, just because this sits here doesn't mean there isn't life. Think of this as one big,
Oasis, right?
right?
Yeah.
like one big reef, if you would.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a good 3 or 4 second pause. All right, right there. Yeah, just let it. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
You gotta
Oh,
let it in. There you go.
I'm gonna get mine in first, though.
See about that.
And it's a sea bass, all right. Not a giant one, but the first fish. We know they're here. Little sea bass. Now let's make them bigger. So the sea bass have no problem getting back down to the bottom after you bring them up in 100 feet of water, right? Or
I hope not.
Because you release
I don't
a lot
think they
of
do if they're as long as they're not ripped up to the surface super quick.
Yeah.
They seem to be fine.
After finding only small fish at the first tower, we moved west to investigate the next one, as the sea bass often school by size. Also, you never know when you'll discover a school of stripers, bluefish, or albies, which also school up around the structure.
So we like to just keep it simple and use jigs when we're sea bassing. And this is a SI standard issue tackle, Hoagie sand eel jig. Mm-hmm. This is a heavier version.
Yeah, it's got a substantial hook on that thing.
It does. This is a 70 grams. They make bigger versions now. We changed they usually come with a treble hook. We put these inline hooks in. Mm-hmm. We find that just when releasing and landing fish, just using a single hook is a lot easier.
Sure.
Especially on a charter boat. We run a charter boat. This is our charter boat setup. When you have 6 people hooked up,
Yeah, it gets a little
expedites it when you
it gets a little chaotic, right?
chaotic,
and
so-
this keeps it simple, right?
So this is got a nice finish on it. It falls quickly, and we found that they work very nicely on sea bass. We don't use a lot of bait, believe it or not.
yeah.
we
Well, that
find
keeps
that-
things less messy and complicated.
It does. So we use a variety of jigs, but this is the one that we use the most. It's smaller fish.
Oh, I had a hit right away.
And what that does is that brings in bigger fish. Right.
Yeah,
It's just the spaces
yeah,
of the
bigger fish.
ecosystem. Get one?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah. As soon as it hit bottom, man, they were nailing on the way down too. Yeah, this is bigger fish than the last one, but that wouldn't be.
Species we have. We should have sea bass. Could be pork.
Oh, oh, Tyler's on too.
You're right. As soon as I got
Yeah,
to
it
the
looks
bottom.
like sea bass. A nice one. There we go. I guess you're right. Make that move, Chris, and you find the big fish, right? There you go. All right, bigger one, female. Oh, you got a big scup. Oh my gosh, look at the size of that scup. Tyler, nice. Well, you grow them big out here, don't you, Chris?
Yes. Let me see that.
Look at that.
The porgy are jumbos.
Look at that porgy.
The porgies are jumbos.
Yeah. Now you call them porgies out here?
Porgy and Scup. I use them synonymously. My dog's name is Scup.
Oh, okay.
So I call him Porgy.
Porgy and bass. You got a nice one there?
No, I think I'm hung up on the bottom.
You're in?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I think we found him, Tom.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think Captain Chris found him.
Right.
A little guy. Come on, give me a big one. That's a good size. The wind turbine structures serve as fish aggregating devices. It all starts with the growth of mussels and aquatic vegetation, which quickly cover the tower legs. This provides a ready source of food and shelter for smaller fish, which in turn attract the attention of larger predators, namely striped bass, bluefish, false albacore, and fluke. In future years, however, Chris expects the towers to also attract tuna and possibly even mahi. Here's a beauty. Oh, we got two nice ones. Yeah. Look at that one. There we go. There's a big male. So this is something. Look at these two right here. See all those good ones? Oh yeah. Look at that. Well, all right. Well, now I'm a believer. What pound test braid are you using?
This is 30.
Okay. And
this is 30 on a conventional setup. We like to use these Penn 15s. This is a 15 conventional. We like level wine again because of
Charters.
our customer base.
Yeah.
It's very easy for them to operate. Same thing, customer base. We give them an ugly stick, which is pretty much unbreakable, and is perfect for what we do.
Okay.
It's a very simple, very affordable setup.
What is that? A 6 foot?
This is this is 6'6" actually.
Okay.
And it's it should be a medium heavy.
Yep.
And
but a pretty, it looks like the tip's fairly sensitive.
It is, but it could also at the same time, believe it or not, hold 4 6-ounce weight if you need to in deep water.
Oh, okay. So
right?
good versatile rig.
It is. It's a good versatile rig. And the reels, these are workhorses. We beat them up pretty good, and we haven't had any issues with them.
So what's the technique? You just drop it to the bottom? Let's see how you do it.
So once you establish your drift, I like to drop in on the side of the boat that's going to take the lure away from us. All right, take the jig away. And it's simply let it free fall. Keep your thumb ready. These reels are all set, so they shouldn't backlash. But in 90 feet of water, when momentum gets going, sometimes it can happen. So we just let it drop all the way down. And once it hits the bottom, you usually take 2 or 3 turns just to get it just up off the bottom. So we're on the bottom now.
Okay.
Engage. Now you're just up off the bottom.
Okay.
All right. And rod tip down, hand on the butt, and every once in a while, you just give it a nice pop up. A lot of the times they're going to hit on the fall. So when you lift it up, and it's usually boom boom on the fall.
So you want to kind of lower the rod as the jig is sinking so you can feel it hit, right?
Correct. So if you just jerk up like that and just drop your rod quick, you're going to feel the lure, or the jig actually bounce the tip of the rod. You want to actually follow it down, almost so you're always in contact with it, so you feel the little hits. If you drop the rod quick and there's slack line, you're not going to feel the hit.
You're going to miss it.
All right, you're going to miss it.
And you want to keep that rod tip low to the water, right? Because you don't want to be up here because you're not going to be able to set the hook either.
Correct. if you keep the rod tip low, you will be able to set the hook. If you keep it high up here, you're gonna miss a lot of hits.
Okay.
You're not gonna be able to set. So.
Good tip. After catching plenty of black sea bass and scup at the towers, we headed for some spots closer to the island in search of a fluke to round out our variety fishing trip. Along the way, though, we spotted some birds working low to the water, so we rigged up with some big poppers and gave chase. Sure enough, the commotion turned out to be the work of large bluefish. And we managed to land 2 of the choppers before the school disappeared, proving that you should be prepared for anything in these waters. So what's the beach here? What's that?
This is Mansion Beach. This actually is the top of the stretch of what basically is the east side, East Beach as we call them.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Mansion, Scotch, then Town Beach, Baby Beach, and then in front of the Surf Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So this particular spot's Mansion Beach. Jerry's is right here, which is this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the many coves and points, beaches that you can fish around the island. We're in the lee of the island right now. It was getting windy out where we were. Wind picked up to about 15 knots.
Nice in here.
It's nice in here.
That's the thing about an island, right?
Exactly. It's always a lee side somewhere.
We have a resident expert fluke fisherman. His name's Hank Hewitt. He captains our bigger boat that does a lot of bottom fishing and fluking. And he's always experimenting with different rigs. And yes, you can go with your traditional bucktail and squid strip or bucktail and strip of anything. What we like to use is something called a cowgirl rig, Dabble cowgirl blade. It's 2 willow blades, back to back, a bunch of beads, a little skirt, and a hook.
And what about how long a leader is this?
That's about 3 feet.
So about 3 feet to the 3-way swivel.
Yep, and then
a pretty substantial 3-way swivel.
So we have a substantial 3-way swivel, and you'll notice we use a lot of quick clips just because if we need to change out this part, we just change it out. We leave everything else. This is a 4 ounce. We're going to start with 4 ounces. I think the drift is slow enough where 4 ounces will hold the bottom. Today we're going to use some bluefish strips.
Yep.
They love it. And we're going to go with that.
Okay, well let's see. Show me how you prepare the strips.
So the strips, we leave meat on them, a lot of meat on them, and we try to, you only need like it's more scent than anything. So we'll start by get through the skin here.
Yeah.
You don't have to get fancy hooking it. You could double hook it if you like.
So you're putting it right through the skin
Right
side?
through the skin side, come out the skin, top.
Okay.
That's it. Put the skirt down on it.
And then that's all you need to do?
That's all you need to do.
All right.
Drop this down. You'll feel the blades thumping. You should feel the blades thumping. You reach bottom, you just come up a little bit off the bottom and don't give it much action at all. You're more tending it, waiting for a bite.
All right. Let's drink about it. This is, feels good. All right, Chris, you got something down there. I don't know. What is it? It's a dogfish.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh, you are kidding me. What a dog. What a dog. Block Island is well known for producing trophy fluke. But for some reason, we had a bit of trouble convincing one to eat. However, just as we were getting ready to pull stakes and head back to Point Judith, a small fish decided to take the bait. Excellent. Well, A fluke!
Finally.
There you go.
Took a little while.
Yeah, it did. Now, did he hit bait, or was that you have a... So you don't really think of them as predators until you see these teeth on
No,
them, right?
they're definitely predators. Big teeth. They can do some damage.
Yeah.
Big teeth but soft mouth. You can see how translucent that is. That's the problem, is once you get them hooked, you got to be careful reeling them in. That works a hole right there or on the other side. And,
Well, that's what happened with me. I had them right there and...
Give them a little bit of slack, hook could drop right out of it.
With a grab bag of species under our belts and a mess of fillets in the cooler, Tyler and I bid farewell to Chris in Old Harbor and headed for the mainland. Block Island had lived up to its reputation as a fishing mecca, and thanks to the wind farm, it just got a whole lot fishier.
So I've always fished anywhere we've lived. My dad was in the military, so we've moved all over the place. We've lived in Japan, fished in California, fished in Massachusetts, fished in Virginia. Didn't matter if it was freshwater, saltwater. So we've always been fishing since I was very young. So it was just a natural thing to do when you got to Block Island because it's fishing. I'm Captain Chris Willey. I own Block Island Fish Works on Block Island. Even on our days off, we're fishing, which is kind of sick.
Well, that's a wrap on another action-packed episode of New England Fishing. To learn more about fishing in this great part of the world, be sure to check out newenglandfishingtv.com. The site is filled with great articles, videos, gear and boat reviews, fishing news, and much more. And don't forget to order your copy of New England Fishing Magazine, a big, bold, glossy publication packed with informative how-to articles that will help you catch more and bigger fish all season long. Until next time, I'm Tom Richardson for New England Fishing. Thanks for watching.